There's a barrier standing between you and the life you want. What if the only thing holding you back is your own mind? This barrier is an invisible wall built from thousands of repetitive thoughts that have programmed you to accept limitations as facts. Every "I can't afford that" or "that's not possible for someone like me" adds another brick to this wall. What if dismantling this barrier was simple? By combining the research of Jacobo Grinberg and the teachings of Neville Goddard, we can target the subconscious mind when it's most receptive. I'll explain exactly how to do it, why it works, and the specific changes it triggers. What if every obstacle you've encountered wasn't actually real? What if the barriers that seem so solid in your life are just projections created by your own mind? This isn't some abstract philosophical question. It's the foundation of Jacobo Grinberg's groundbreaking research that changes everything we thought we knew about reality. Grinberg discovered something that challenges our most basic assumptions about how we experience the world. Your mind actively constructs reality in every moment. Think of it like this: what you perceive as the real world is being filtered, shaped, and created by the patterns in your mind. Your brain generates your experience of reality, not merely perceives it. This discovery has profound implications. The limitations you experience as fixed facts, "I'm not good enough," "that's impossible for someone like me," aren't objective truths. They're projections of your conditioned beliefs, forming what Grinberg called an invisible wall that seems completely real from your perspective. Imagine Sarah, who wants to apply for a promotion. Each time she thinks, "I'm not qualified enough," she's like a gardener planting seeds in her mental garden. With each repetition, these seeds grow stronger roots in her neural landscape. Soon, what began as a thought becomes her perceived reality. When you tell yourself, "I can't," you physically reinforce neural pathways in your brain. Your mind transforms these repeated thoughts into what feels like concrete reality. That promotion, that relationship, that dream, the limitations surrounding them don't exist as you think they do. This invisible wall isn't built overnight. It's constructed from thousands of repetitive thoughts that program your mind to accept limitations as reality. Your brain forms its own prison around you, one thought at a time. What happens in your brain during this process? When you repeatedly think the same thoughts with emotional intensity, you create physical neural pathways, actual connections between brain cells that strengthen with each repetition. These pathways transform belief patterns into automatic, unconscious responses that operate below your awareness. Your subconscious mind can't distinguish between what's happening and what you're vividly imagining with emotion. It accepts whatever is presented repeatedly as truth. This is why limitations feel so real. Your neural architecture supports them as unchangeable facts rather than mental constructs. This creates a reality loop that's difficult to break. The same neural networks fire daily, creating the same perceptions, limitations, and life experiences. It's like watching the same movie repeatedly but expecting a different ending. Many limiting beliefs were implanted without questioning. Perhaps you were told as a child that you weren't creative. These became invisible laws governing your life, not because they're true, but because repetition made them seem true to your brain. But you can systematically dismantle this invisible wall. You can reprogram thought patterns at their root using the principle that created them, repetition. Can repeating words 100 times change your reality? Research suggests yes, because your mind doesn't distinguish between what's physically real and what's vividly imagined with emotion and consistent repetition. When you repeat an affirmation genuinely, you lay down new neural pathways that override old programming. The key isn't changing thoughts occasionally. It's creating a new pattern strong enough to override years of mental programming. This requires intention, emotional involvement, and a specific implementation framework. If you've spent decades reinforcing neural pathways through negative thoughts, a few half-hearted affirmations won't create enough neural impact for real change. You need a system with enough momentum to break through established patterns. Conventional wisdom says positive thinking is enough, but your brain tells a different story. There's a specific neurological tipping point where repetition transforms from merely saying words into actually rewiring your brain's neural architecture, and most people never reach it. This threshold is precisely why most affirmation practices fail before they even begin. Your brain doesn't respond to casual, inconsistent attempts at positive thinking. It demands intensity and consistency to create lasting change. Think about your subconscious mind as a vast storage facility containing every limiting belief you've ever absorbed. These aren't passive ideas, they're active neural connections reinforced thousands of times throughout your life. Each "I can't" or "I'm not good enough" has etched deeper grooves into your neural pathways. Casual affirmations simply can't generate enough momentum to overcome this deeply entrenched programming. They're like sprinkling water on hardened soil when what you need is a focused stream that can break through. This is where the 100x7 method provides something fundamentally different. Instead of saying a few affirmations whenever you remember, this method creates a concentrated burst of neural activity. Research shows that focused repetition generates the necessary threshold of activity to begin disrupting existing neural patterns. Studies in neuroplasticity have demonstrated that this level of repetitive reinforcement can form new neural pathways within days. But what exactly happens in your brain during these crucial moments before sleep? The method strategically targets your brain during its most receptive state, the transitional period right before sleep. During this time, your brain naturally shifts from its alert beta wave state to a more receptive alpha and theta state. Your conscious mind, the part that typically resists new programming with doubt and skepticism, relaxes its guard, creating a direct pathway to your subconscious. The power of this approach comes from its alignment with how your brain naturally rewires itself. Neuroplasticity, your brain's lifetime ability to reorganize itself, provides the biological mechanism that makes transformation possible. The 100x7 method leverages this capacity by providing the consistent input needed to initiate new neural pathways. The emotional component of this practice activates your limbic system, your brain's emotional processing center. When you infuse your affirmations with genuine emotion, you amplify the signal, making it more recognizable to your brain. This emotional engagement strengthens the new neural connections, giving them priority over older, limiting patterns. The 100x7 method combines 5 critical elements into a single protocol: specific wording that your subconscious can process clearly, a precise repetition count that reaches the necessary threshold, optimal timing when your mind is most receptive, emotional engagement that strengthens neural connections, and the 7-day consistency that initiates true neural restructuring. Most methods focus solely on content, what you say, while neglecting how, when, and with what emotional intensity you say it. The 100x7 method addresses all variables needed for successful subconscious reprogramming. The method creates a pattern interruption, a concentrated experience that bypasses conscious resistance and directly accesses your subconscious. Each repetition deepens the new pattern until it transforms from a mere affirmation into an unquestionable command. The moment doubt disappears is when your brain begins to rearrange its perception filters to match this new mental configuration. While we've explored how repetition forges new neural pathways, there's a more profound dimension to this reality-altering process that goes beyond mere brain chemistry. What if the relationship between your thoughts and reality is actually reversed from what we commonly assume? This is exactly what mystic teacher Neville Goddard discovered, that your external world isn't creating your thoughts, but your thoughts are actively creating your external world. Imagine your thoughts as the architects of your reality. That's Goddard's revolutionary insight that turns our understanding of cause and effect completely upside down. He discovered that the physical world you experience is a mirror reflecting your dominant internal state. Your circumstances, relationships, and opportunities are direct projections manifesting from within you. This is a literal description of how reality functions at its fundamental level. Most people spend their lives trying to manipulate external circumstances while ignoring the internal programming that created those circumstances. It's like trying to change your reflection by adjusting the mirror rather than changing what's being reflected. This fundamental misunderstanding explains why many remain trapped in cycles of frustration despite efforts to create change. What makes Goddard's approach transformative is his understanding that when you speak a statement with absolute certainty and genuine emotional conviction, you're issuing direct commands to a responsive universal field. Every word charged with feeling becomes an instruction to this field. Consider Sarah, who after months of unsuccessful job hunting, began practicing Goddard's technique with emotional certainty that she was already employed at her dream company. Within 2 weeks, she received a call about an unlisted position that perfectly matched her skills. The emotional quality behind your words carries more weight than the actual words themselves. Your feeling state is the true language the universe responds to. 2 people could repeat identical phrases, yet experience dramatically different results based solely on the emotional conviction behind their words. The universe feels what you mean, not just what you say. This explains why affirmations often fail. Without emotional certainty, they remain hollow words that never penetrate the subconscious. But when charged with genuine feeling, these same words become reality-altering instructions. The emotional component is essential to the manifestation process. Individuals applying Goddard's methods have experienced remarkable synchronicities that align with their new mental programming. job opportunities appearing unexpectedly, chance encounters leading to partnerships, and seemingly impossible obstacles dissolving, all corresponding to the new internal reality they established through committed practice. The technique works because your mind cannot distinguish between what's physically happening and what's vividly imagined with emotional certainty. To your subconscious, a vividly imagined scenario with genuine emotional investment is processed as actual experience, creating a bridge between internal reality and external experience. Goddard's repetition technique reprograms your subconscious by creating a new assumed reality through emotional certainty, bypassing your logical mind's resistance. It speaks directly to your deeper consciousness in the language it understands, feeling. The subconscious, accepting this emotionally charged affirmation as truth, begins translating this new internal reality into tangible experiences. When practiced correctly, this approach fundamentally shifts your entire perceptual framework. This shift allows you to notice opportunities and solutions that were always present but filtered out by your old programming. You finally see doors that were always there but invisible to your previous mindset. That perceptual shift doesn't happen by accident. It requires a specific protocol that most people never discover. What if I told you that just 100 repetitions over 7 consecutive nights could completely rewire your subconscious programming? This isn't random positive thinking. It's a precise neurological intervention with predictable results. Let me walk you through exactly how to implement this reality-shifting technique step by step. The first decision you'll make is perhaps the most important: choosing your affirmation. Your affirmation must connect with something you genuinely desire, something that resonates at an emotional level. The crucial part: phrase it as if it's already your reality using "I am" statements that work directly with your identity. Examples: instead of "I want financial freedom," say "I am financially free." Instead of "I hope to be confident," declare "I am confident in every situation." Instead of "I will attract wealth," use "I am attracting abundant wealth effortlessly." When crafting your affirmation, follow these guidelines. Avoid negatives like "I am not afraid," as your brain processes afraid more strongly than the negation. Make your statement specific enough to have meaning, but general enough to allow multiple manifestation paths. Next, create the optimal environment. Find a quiet, comfortable space where you won't be interrupted. The ideal time is right before sleep, when your brainwaves transition from active beta to receptive alpha and theta states. This twilight period offers privileged access to your subconscious when logic and critical thinking begin to relax. The repetition process follows 3 distinct phases. 1. Repetitions 130. These feel mechanical and perhaps boring. You might think this is silly or "I'm just saying words." This is merely your conscious mind's initial resistance pushed through it. 2. Repetitions 30-70. Deeper resistance emerges. Doubt, contradictory thoughts, or physical restlessness might appear. These are signs you're reaching the subconscious layers where limiting beliefs reside. 3. Repetitions 70-100. Transformation begins. The words start feeling more natural and believable. Many experience a peaceful sensation or sudden insights as the mind begins accepting the new programming. For maximum effectiveness, count each repetition to maintain focus and prevent mind wandering. Speak each affirmation aloud, even in a whisper, to engage more senses and strengthen neural imprinting. Infuse each repetition with genuine feeling. Imagine already living as if your affirmation is true. The emotional signature is the actual language your subconscious understands. Signs it's working appear gradually. Within 3-4 days, you'll notice more positive thoughts about your goal, new ideas or opportunities previously overlooked. By days 5-7, more significant shifts emerge, synchronicities aligning with your affirmation, changed reactions from others, or an unexplainable certainty about your goal. This 7-day cycle represents a neurological tipping point where temporary neural connections solidify into permanent pathways. The most common mistake is inconsistency. Missing even one night resets much of the process. Complete all 7 consecutive nights, even without immediate evidence of change. The effects often appear after the protocol is complete, not during it, as your mind processes the new programming during your daily life. We've finally reached the heart of why this practice can fundamentally transform your experience. The 100x7 technique serves as a powerful tool to dismantle invisible barriers of limiting beliefs that dictate your life. By consciously choosing an affirmation that reflects your desired reality and repeating it with intention, you're issuing direct commands to your subconscious mind. As your internal landscape shifts during this 7-day protocol, the universe rearranges itself around your new mental configuration. Choose an affirmation aligned with your deepest desires: prosperity, confidence, health. Unlock the door to your new reality by committing tonight. Begin your 100 repetitions and watch as your limiting beliefs dissolve, making way for transformation.